Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Wicked Lady Hippy. I fuss when I get up here in the morning. And you are at the bar live with me. So, personally, since I'm at the bar, I am at home. I get to indulge in a few things that I don't normally if I'm leaving the home. So, welcome. Grab a spot, grab a drink, let's talk about some stupid shit. Give you a quick background. Army veteran, published author, retired, grandmother of two, whose grandson is also an Army veteran. I know I make this look good, don't I? Thanks. Let's see. Yes, and mother of one and a wife of one. Bless him, he's still alive, even though I have bullets. Yeah, they frown on using those. Ah, it's like I told my son, he's not going to let his 13-year-old girl go to the school dances and stuff like that. And I said, so I thought about it and I went back over. We were going to exit away from each other. And I grabbed a shotgun shell. Yes, we have a lot of guns. Um, I know they frown on using them, but if there's somebody out here, there's a live shooter, I think it might just save not just my own life. If more of us would train and carry, we might be able to save other lives. In particular, what's going on in the schools is beyond, it just buggers description. Just so, okay, here we go again, right? This, I get up here and I talk about whatever the hell I want. I love this thing. It's Social Woodstock. I don't know where everybody's at, but we should all be up here doing this. Hey, Mr. Marr, love you, Bill. Been watching it forever. Shout out to Joe Rogan again. Sorry, guy, got your own age, man. I loved you in news radio. Tragic happening. Terrible thing that happened. So, I've seen a lot of things that make me laugh. Of course, I haven't watched what they now have deemed the legacy media. I call them traitors. Uh, Walter Cronkite would have shot him. It would have been all over, but the headline. And I love the new cartoon, whatever it was. It's like The Simpsons first started. I was in San Antonio when Fox became a station. That was and it was free, which was great. You had now four stations because who could afford cable in the 80s? Just, I'm in the mood. So it was, and that's where the comedy came and grew into being The Simpsons. And this is similar. It seems to me it's the same for cartoons, but I don't know, but it's funny as hell. It's always got the giggle girl. What's her name? We said she was VP. I can't remember that girl's name. And of course, President Trump, I call him Donnie. It's not an insult. He knows that. So does guys. I'm good. If the black helicopters show up, hey, I'm bored. Those guys are cute. Because there's a landing pad over here. Come here. The bars around back. They lock the doors. Passing out drinks. It has some five boys up in here. Ooh. It's a bar, goes. Get over it. I mean, seriously. I come here to laugh, have a drink, talk to whoever shows up, don't show up. Oops, I forgot to throw in. Live comments is now a go. You could always throw something at me at the live comments if you're seeing me live. Bless your hearts. If not, throw it in the comment. Come on, guys, hit a like, hit the bell, do something. Shit, I'm an old bitch up here. I don't make a living doing this. I'm not averse to making money. I just don't fucking make any here. I'm trying to rush through this as if I'm actually important. Again, that's hysterically funny to me. People go, how can you get up there and do that? Like you what? And is they will not come on. And I know some people that are incredibly intelligent. I love certain subjects to talk about. I love a good debate. And so it's always fiery around the bar until I pull up my equipment and they're, you know, Wasn't there 20 here 10 seconds ago drinking free shit? No, I don't charge you my bar, but I'm considering it. I mean, my husband bought a Remington. He didn't know it at the time. We were just going to get a little bar. And there was somebody that was selling one on eBay or whoever, and he'd been wanting one. So off he went, and he called me, says, honey, uh, it's not really a little bar. It's little, but it's kind of like room size. This was going on while he was renovating the house. He was painting. He pulled up the carpets and put in hardwood flooring for me and all that. I had been through a terrific injury, and I was off my feet until about 6 months ago, I guess now. But it was for a year, and it was terrible. Although my poor long suffering husband, it was fun with him. You would not believe how much men. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to bump you here, but I could not believe how much this man bitched. What do you mean I got to do dishes too? I was sweeping and mopping from a wheelchair, and my doctors and my surgeon said, "Ah, you're to be bedbound. Period. Do you want us to open this up again? No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'll stay here. I can gain 20 more pounds." Which, of course, I probably did. I have a whole new wardrobe. You just can't bitch, you know. It's, little one, little another. I'll take that one. But I kid. I switched mainly from clothing, jeans, and pants slacks because it was more difficult now for me. After all those surgeries, it's still difficult. So I usually wear a full length dress, and I have so many, and they're so lovely. And to me, they're just, I'm cleaning the house, and friends will stop by and go, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "To the kitchen. I need some more bleach." And they're, I went to Golden Corral with my husband last week, and he's said, "We may be busy Saturday. You never know." And he doesn't. He's retired. I'm retired. That means for him, he can do what he wants, which apparently is work on everybody's car. He's also a master mechanic. Drove a truck for many, many, many years over the road, and he also is an instructor. So he wears a couple hats, so they all come by too if they're around. So the bar is busy, but like I said, we had to take since it was a room size bar, we had it. We had downsized since our kids, grandkids, none of them were at the house anymore. We only needed like one guest room at that point. So my son was having trouble getting a bigger house because surprise at his son's age of 13, he found out he was going to have a baby. My son did. So I have two grandchildren now, 13 years apart. So he asked us if we would buy the starter home, so they could get a new $250,000 home just built for them. And I said, okay. We were about to. They called us just in time. We were about to buy a house by the lake. We regret that decision, by the way, in some ways. So we've been here about 15 years. And I said, okay, I know what to do because he said it was already loaded. They had been there loaded on and everything. And I said, well, I'll dismantle the dining room table and take it out. We'll have to pull the other two china cabinets out as well. But can we put it in the house without positioning it, except for like somewhere? Because I'm not sure how long it is. They're big at this point. He says, yeah, if you can put the table down, because of course I've moved a few times, so he's unscrew it and stuff. There's a nice uh, marble top with wood, and my husband had redone all that. And it was beautiful. So, and it seated six. So that's already and outside. You wouldn't believe how I'm 5'2", folks. This table, like I said, seated six. So that the I got as far as down and out the back door, and I kind of like said, "Oh well, fuck it. That's 20 more feet. I'll get somebody." And here he comes, and he had called his grandson first. His grandson lives just here, and he'll always pop over. My son, when he pops over, he's either too tired. He done had a beer after work. He worked 10 hours, and no, he wasn't going to come by. So that's basically where he stands. We don't even call. We see him. I call it high holidays. Mother's Day is. The boy thinks for real that if he doesn't see me on Mother's Day, I might collect the life insurance I have on him. So he manages to pull something together for that, my birthday, and Christmas. Those are my three things. And technically, I used to like going over Easter, but my granddaughter outdo that. So, 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah, he's only an exit away. Yeah, I'm not one of those everybody loves Raymond moms. They got a life too. And I'm not going to, go over every day or every other day, or for that matter, every weekend, because I'm busy too. And for me, I was an adopted child after I left in the Army at 17, and that's a story. We were supposed to be going to WAC training at Fort McClellan. The Women's Auxiliary Corps. We landed at Fort Jackson, which was regular training for the Army. I mean, that's where they trained you. You went to the theater of war, and we're like, and they explained that what had happened to us is they had phased out all the WAC, the WAVE, the WAF, all that. They now all trained together. They were all now soldiers. And did we want to leave? We could, and it would not be held against us or our records or anything. It was like, oh, fuck you. I'll take that chance. Any of you girls? If you want to leave, because you're going to have to get past me. I'm 5'2". I'm raised in Chicago. So I have this attitude that anything is a weapon. Even them. I took karate till I had to leave, and fencing and so forth and so forth. My husband says I went to a resort and not a high school. We had our own Olympic swimming pools. The men had one, and we had one. We had a nuclear tunnel that went in there. You could drive a semi through these tunnels. It was awesome, man. And they all let out at the school's level. So it was great in the winter when you got out of swimming. Your hair didn't freeze. You could go through the tunnel. And like I said, they all emptied out in the buildings. So that was always cool. He has a point compared to Georgia's schools. My kindergarten even would outdo their fifth grade back in my day. I don't know now. So enough about me. Y'all know about me. And if you do know me, I'm a little half cocked. Sandwich shy of a picnic. You know what I'm saying? It's like I like Gator Gitmo. They called it at the beginning alligator Alcatraz. And I was like, I like Gator Gitmo. So you can see where I go with that. It is supposed to be for entertainment purposes only. And I would love to see everybody. I usually don't get any comments until afterwards. And if I can do something about them, I'll put them up. Thanks again, everybody, for welcoming me back and for being so kind as to ignore the fact that, well, I'll put it this way. I opened my closet this morning and I said, have you got anything for any woman who's over 60? Make them look good. About that time, the door jerked out of my hand, slammed shut. It's like, okay. Cheers. Better explain that, hadn't I like my whiskey on the rocks. And so my husband buys me these little whiskey fireballs. As I was saying about the bar, it's a bar. It takes a whole room. It's an L-shaped bar with the big mirror on the other side, holding classes and so forth. And we have many sets that people have gifted us with, like to make old fashions and stuff like that. Those are not a usual drink. Or you don't also usually have the ingredients. And so we also like to buy whenever we go to restock. Although Jack Daniels and what was the other one? Can't think of it now because in a little bag. In any event, Jack I can't think of his name in my head. But we buy other types of any kind of alcohol that looks weird and you've never had it, you've never seen it. We get those. We put them all on top of the bar of the mirror. And then the mirror swoops down and it's got another shelf and it's got drawers and stuff. And it takes up the other side of this room. And so it's a bar. So it's a party when we want to party, man. And my friends, they wonder how I do it. They constantly say, how do you do that? So, yeah, I get up here because I think we should. It's free. We can talk to each other. We can say things like, what the fuck is going on in Minnesota? For how long? For 4 or 5 years, these fucks have been able to walk through a terminal at Minnesota with $5-6 million in their carry-on, fly to Dubai, and send it on to Somalia. They want to make sure we keep those terrorists funded. Worked really good in Gaza. I mean, the hell, That tunnel system is bigger than the London Underground, and I've been there. That's saying a lot. So apparently, the powers that be were not only treasonous, or actually outright committing treason, we'll put it that way. When I think that we went to war because they fired the cannon at Fort Sumter at a ship, that's Mox Dix between what these people have been doing. So I'm watching these little commercials that they have. Well, I know it's the shorts. They call them the shorts on YouTube. And so if you see them with, just recognize Trump and the Giggle Girl, the old VP. I can't remember her name either. In any event, those are the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. His son Barron was right to tell him, get on the podcast because we're for real. We're not going to make it up. We're not going to tell you, well, you should feel like this because otherwise you're racist, you're this, that, or the other. Fuck you. I had the same goddamn race that you do, and I was fucking here first. And as far as putting the land back in the original people's hands, much of that has been done as far as possible. It's the 21st century. Grow up, get over it, get a grip. Really? I also said I would never start or do a podcast without mentioning Charlie Kirk. I will not let that boy die in vain. I want to know why his security team set him up to be murdered. And there's no way you're going to convince me basically different because he paid them millions of dollars. There was only one fucking roof they could shoot from. This was a one shot, one kill. They're trying to get us to believe that little furry boy did this shit with a World War rifle that he barely used before. No, he did not attend that university. Even if he had scoped it out, this kid had no training. He had none of that. You know, how fast does a bullet drop from that trajectory so you don't hit 2 or 3 of the 4,000 kids that are there? Penny, shut up. Penny, Penny, Penny. Okay. All right. I'll get you in a minute. Oh, he's upset. Fast Walker got out the door this morning. And it's really cold out here. So I know he'll come back home. He's done it once before. He loves to jump under the barn, play with the girls that are out there. Because it's Kate's sanctuary. He's fixed. So it won't hurt nothing for him to be out in the backyard for a while. But Penny Pick him Up was also rescued at the same time. So he just cries and cries as if he's telling me, go get him. He's here. Go get him. So I have to ignore him. And he's literally in the kitchen doing this. And I don't know why. It sounds like he's behind me. It's really loud in my microphone. Sorry, guys. I'm always fidgeting or forgetting something. I cannot figure it out. I knew I had a brooch on somewhere. It was just bugging me. So, Candace Owens, darling, love you. Proud of you. Full respect. Full respect. And that's from a woman who was regular Army and earned her stripes before we ever even had a female fire department. It was girls didn't do that back then. And so, yes, I am that old. But I've also been in and out of media and reporting myself. And it's gotten very scary out there now. People with a lot of money. And I know you got money and I want you to keep it because these people are like that. You may wake up, find your bank account gone. You've got 2 children, loving husband. I'm going to throw something at this cat, if you'll excuse me. Hey, shut up. See, that's the kitchen. It seems to have worked. It's never a dull moment around here. No, he's going to start again because he heard me talking. So here we go again. So you'll just have to bear with me on this stupid ass cat because I think I'll choke it once I get off the air and I can catch him. He's the only one that gives me fits 2 or 3 times a day like that. We have like a cat sanctuary, dog sanctuary. If they show up here, there's food for them. There's warmth for them. There's water for them. Neighbors, I'm lucky in the fact that most of the kittens, we get a lot of kittens thrown out. Several we had to race by a bottle because they weren't, the mother wasn't there. And they would put these kittens in bags. And I don't want to speak of nasty things, but we've rescued a lot. We couldn't take them inside, but we do have them shelters and things. And they are there every day for their breakfast and dinner. It's like clockwork. I'll look out the window and go, damn, okay, it's time to feed the. They all lined up. I think we have 8 outside, right? But they're 2 males. And I could catch them using one of the, maybe using one of the trap and releases, but then that cat would never trust me again. And it would probably die of starvation around here. There, when he started coming to the house, he was nothing, weighed nothing. Now he's this big, sturdy cat. And I call him Sammy. And somebody dropped off another cat, full grown, but they didn't have it neutered. And so I can't bring it in the house to treat it. And it's been going up against Sammy, the other male who's out there. So we can't have that. So I've been worried about them. And then my fast walker gets out. My fast walker is not an adolescent cat. He's about 2 years old. And so he started to get the thicker neck and body. But he don't come close to those 2 male cats that are already here eating in the backyard and sleeping and picking girlfriends, to be honest. But he dove right out underneath our barn. It's a storage shed, looks like a barn. It's red and white, pinstriping on there. So I call it the barn. So, but they've tunneled. They made a tunnel in there. So we always add straw, let them, because it's warm that way in there. And I don't know how, but and we also made ditches so that water would, drain away from that particular area. So it's like I call it the mouse house because it's got the round door and all that. And they also have bins that they sleep in. And I get all that stuff, and that's washed twice a week. And so this is a lot of work, to feed and house and clothe, so to speak. So I am a little worried, but Penny was raised with fast walkers, what I was getting to. So they were, buddies, and I call it the kitty NICU. I put them in the kitty NC. Well, they had to have more attention, we'll put it that way. So they stayed in there and they did need more attention. I had 4 of them as babies at the same time. They were from other cats, other moms. None had a mother. And so I'm trying to bottle feed 4 babies at the same time. And that would be my husband. He doesn't like to be on TV, but he does like to come in and bother me while I'm doing my podcast. It's going to be that kind of a day. It's a Friday the 13th. Oh, I have more medicine from the VA. I love that. Thank you, darling. My good stuff came yesterday, so it could be why I'm happy. All right. I just said it there, love. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's might help with.
Okay. So he has some stuff today. He has stuff. It's amazing. Once we retired, we neither one have as much time as we used to, and we see he. I don't know about that man. Sometimes he's 70, and I think to myself, well, is it dementia? But I can't fuss. I've already gotten several gifts for Valentine's, which is tomorrow, which means tomorrow he's probably down to just a card. I got yes, it's a moonstone set, necklace, earrings, and bracelet set. So that was lovely. And then he got me another set that's ruby and diamonds, and it's earrings and necklace that match. And then he bought me a watch that has black sapphires and diamonds and gold glitter. And it opens like a slinky. And so it's the neatest little thing. And it's got 3 diamond drops and a black sapphire. And they go in difference in height. So they get shorter. There's 3, they're diamond. And it's just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous earring. I love it. So he's skating for something. I don't know what, but, you know. I know this man been well over 30 years that we've been married, and yeah, ears would burn. So, if you're out there, guys, any veterans? Yeah, I know you're out there. Hell, I'm only one extra from the base. I was either working on the base as a service person, service woman, or I was working there at civil service, about the same. Now I'm retired and I miss the hell out of it. And I miss the people. Um, Well, we almost make up with that with the parties. That was Penny. She's a painted cat, the white and black. I don't know how we get into these messes, but we do. We do. And like I said, the kitchen's on the other side. We downsized, and then we had to take out a dining room. Hold on. I'm going to kill her. Shut up! Wow. Sometimes, like I said, the military shows up, and you could hear me a block away. And he's rather insolent about things. I don't like my cats to be that way, but they like to be. They never win against me, but we'll go with the flow. I see he's quieted down. So yeah, we've once you take a cat, you bottle feed it. You got three other ones. You bottle feed it with you, so you've got four of them. And by the time they can eat food, they love you to death. How can you kick them either outside or take them to the shelter, which we can't do because it's a kill shelter. I can't kill something, let alone over and over and over, because there's a new set of kittens. You know how they do. It's like rabbits. And we neuter all the males that we catch or entice into the house. But then we have them inside with us because they don't want to leave. So we had to stop doing that too. Too many cats. I lost 5 last year or so. And it breaks your heart. It about killed me. It really did. I was going through physical therapy at the time too, and I do not understand how 5 of them I lost so fast. 3 were just kittens, and I don't. They were fine that night. I woke up the next morning. 2 were almost gone, and 1 was gone. And I couldn't save them. I couldn't get anywhere on time. It was during holidays. Nobody. It was horrifying, and it really colored the holidays. I have to admit. But and then he took my Kit Kat, who was a black and white long hair, and had the biggest feet. And he had these black around his yellow eyes, and it looked like he had eyeliner, but he was so smart. But I lost him too. And then on top of that, we lost Grey Ghost, who had just walked into the house crying and running. They had tried to cut off her tail because she had the digital thing in there for finding her. They tried to cut off her tail, and it was terrible. And my husband was in the living room, and she just ran to my husband and ran up into his arms. And so she stayed, but we lost her too. We don't know why. We don't know why. Just suddenly, we lost him. Like within a day of each other. It was horrifying. It was just awful. So now we've got 2 that are sneezing and we're scared to death. You do end up, I don't know how people hurt animals or anything that's helpless. Uh, so yeah, we take care of a lot of things, and I never thought I'd be called the cat lady, but you know what? I don't fucking care. If they can't get off their sorry asses and be a good Samaritan, something that's starving to death, freezing to death in the shivering rain and the cold, then God may show them what it's like the next time they come around that wheel. I hope so. Yes, I believe wholeheartedly in karma. Actually, if you see, there's a book and a movie about Audrey Rose, and you should get it. It will show you that in the court of New York, they proved that reincarnation is a fact. And read Audrey Rose before you watch the movie. Read it because the movie's a little different. So watch the movie too. But if you're curious about it, I don't see a lot of people in church, and I don't blame them. I can't figure out which one is the right fucking one. That's the pisser. The good Lord said, don't go to a false church. Which the hell wants a false church? They all just up there talking about what they believe in. They're not talking about what God wanted everybody to believe in, or not so much that way. We have free will. It's a great history book, though, guys. I read it all the time. Unlike Mr. Casey, the sleeping prophet, I'll try to read through my Bible every year. If you skip the begat who, other than maybe the first section, so you figure out who Methuselah was, and grandson of was Noah, and that kind of thing. It's very interesting. But after a while, and if you can't sleep, that's a section that you head for. And actually repeat it out loud. You'll be ready to go to sleep in about 2.5 minutes. Oh, I have no idea what my husband wanted me to do. I was just sitting here thinking, what did he want? When he's around, and I tell him ahead of time, I'm going to do my podcast. And if he's around, he'll be fine 10, 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But he will walk his ass through before I'm done. Makes a lot of noise, and I can't figure out what the hell he wanted to begin with. I can't figure it out. He said something. No, what was? Probably dinner. I think he thinks I'm Denny's because he'll come in and say, "What are we having for dinner?" Well, not the how much if you just mention it at 6:30. It's not the Waffle House. I don't rush up and cook a fucking thing. I've also seen or learned of Lou Manion's death, and I believed from the very beginning that he had been killed. And I've been able to just recently listen to his music and watch. I'd already watched the movies. He's a Chinese actor and singer, and he sings it in English. And they stole a beautiful light from the world. There's been many this year, but this boy was only 37 years old, and it broke my heart. He was great, so much talent in such a young man, and to be taken away. Um, yeah, it's the same thing I said about Charlie Kirk. They had to open the door. Security's in this up to their necks because there wasn't anyone to help this boy for like a week. They wouldn't let him take a piss without four guys. Um, he was making a ton of money for the Chinese government. He wasn't making it for himself. It's different over there. If you're an actor, an actress, and singer and songwriter, it's just different. And so, may his memory be a blessing. I like that saying from the Jewish people. And we Gentiles borrow that stuff occasionally. Might be why they're mad at us too. But I got a pie in the oven. I am a little bit more ahead of it than he thinks. Actually, a lot more all the time. I haven't know what's. Oh yeah, my whiskey. And I got this watch today. See if I can, okay, there you go. Again, one of the things I'm thinking is, who the hell is this dude? And are they feeding my fucking husband? Or what did he do? One of the two. It's got to be one of the two. I had to quit smoking. My husband gives me one other little thing. I could have a cigar. It's my cigarette, my little cigarette. I used to smoke the hell out of these when I was in Europe because we sold. They love Marlboros, the Germans did. So I sold those when I paid rent. So it's a story. I really do need to probably write that book. See if anybody encourages me. I generally get up here and I have to agree with my friends. I don't know why I do it. Sometimes I have no views. Sometimes somebody will view it from last year. And so, I'm flipping through. I stopped doing it every day after I got injured so badly because I kind of fall out by 5. At least my leg does. It's like you've been wandering around, walking around. It's time to lay your ass down. So I've got some things to do while I'm sitting up with the leg up. Kind of early in the day, so I try to make sure I'm done. He doesn't seem to grasp the situation. He, like I said, asked for what's for dinner at 6:30. I already finished the dishes. I have no idea what you're doing, dude. I ate some shit earlier. You get cold after a while. I tell y'all too, ladies. The camera does not add 10 pounds. It really doesn't. It does not. It adds 40. Just saying. FYI. If you want to talk about ghosts, if you want to talk about The paranormal, ghosts, all of those things are great. When I was growing up, you didn't talk about politics and you didn't talk about religion. And that is something we do talk about now. We should be talking about that now. And so I would love to see people jump on and talk to the drunk lady, see what we hippies still think. We used to march because there was a real cause. It was the Vietnam era, and we were peace and love, and we still are. Somalians in Minnesota, I hope to God there's not one left when they get finished. Actually, I pray that there won't be. Making videos and putting them on Facebook about how great it was to have a brand new home, everything paid for, money on their card, and EBT. Americans should work harder because we want to make sure we don't ever have to do anything. So we love taking your money and thank you. I picked up a sword and Uzi and found a Tommy fucking gun. However, they frown on that shit. I also saw where Florida made legal laws that says you cannot fuck with people who are nice. You have to stay 25 feet from it. If you throw something, if you spray something, if you so much as piss in their direction, you're going to jail, hefty fines, and it's not going to be for 6 days in jail. You're going to go to prison because it's a felony offense. It's a federal felony offense. So I'm loving how things are coming back. These sanctuary fucking cities, I'm like, what the fuck? And this has like been a decade. I'm like, these people are traitors. This is treason. They did less to start the Civil War at Fort Sumter. They fired a shot, man, and it was fucking on. Nothing. They're still giving them federal money. They're bleeding this or $37 million, or I'm sorry, $37 trillion in the hole. And we find out for a fact, and the Somalis are being stopped now, taking $5-6 million in their luggage and their carry-ons, and still expect to get away with it because they did for years. And then they sent it on to Somalia, in Dubai. I don't know how. If I was living in Minnesota, I don't know how I would react to hearing that. I'm sure it wouldn't be good. I'd need bail money, probably. My husband and son can see what crosses across my face and they quickly tie me to something. Like I said, they frown on some of this shit. Um, I thought those were cute too. Like I said, I enjoy the cartoons with Donnie. So it's not an insult. I swear, President Trump, you've got a great sense of humor. I know you think it's cute. And I used to wonder anyway if Melania would call him Donnie. What does she does that when she gets pissed? I love the first lady. I have from the very beginning. Yeah, she is a naturalized citizen. She is from another country, and she is now an American and has been for some time. But she went through the system. He didn't just say I'm rich. She's in. She had to go through the whole process. And this woman speaks 5 languages. I mean, mad respect. You know what I'm saying? This woman is classy. She's intelligent. She's gorgeous. She's real. She's the greatest first lady I've ever seen besides Jackie Kennedy. And I had never in my entire life rated anybody above Jackie Kennedy. I remember exactly what I was doing when President Kennedy was killed. I was 4, the same age as John Jr., which killed me when his airplane, he seems to have gotten mixed up and thought the sea was the sky and just out of the plane the sea. That's what their official account was. No, he had announced he was running for Senate. They knew he'd get Senate. They knew after the Senate it was a stepping stone to the presidency. And this man was gorgeous. He was intelligent. He was John Jr. He would have made a fantastic president. And I almost tear up every time. And it's been many years now. And so I said, like with Charlie Kirk, I didn't understand why. I didn't know he had a podcast, wife, kids. I didn't know any of that. He was just the guy that said, prove me wrong on campus. That's all I knew until he was murdered. until he was assassinated, massacred, exterminated, awful. I mean, in front of thousands of kids. And they wanted this to be in the public. So, aside from talking about the darkness here, we should talk about more of the light. And there is it's something though. And with Diane, Princess Diane, I wept. Of course, 9/11. It seems to me that every time I have so many clothes that are black, people say, you never wear the same thing, but it's always black. And I was like, and I agree for people that I've never met, but feel I know, and shouldn't have been taken so early from us. And yet, it's the good who go to God soon, and we don't want to lose them, but we'll see them again. And I mean, so there's been many I'm grieving for at the same time. Millions of us are. Uh, I'm still not over the death of Princess Diana, and I never will be. Mother Teresa died that same night. And I thought that was very interesting that she died the same night. She was, of course, a saint. And Saint Pope John Paul II, was, I mean, I was raised Catholics as far as from 9 years old up. And I was also in and out of orphanages run by nuns when I was young. So I was kind of Catholic, pretty much. And I didn't think it was proper to have all the wealth that the Catholic Church has, and that you have to kiss the ring of the Pope. I didn't think Jesus had anybody kissing a ring. I didn't think that Princess Diana actually ran the car, or the driver ran the car into that pylon. So it puts me into the conspiracy category. And I don't mind that. I really don't. Uh, I'm a hippie. And if you look back at what we hippies were, we wanted to change the world. We wanted to change the government that was controlling us, that was, and our kids. And by the time our kids got up there, I'm sure the same as for you, it was homeschool because it was indoctrination in class. Now, I used to go up in Headswood Rural, and they didn't have that class anymore. They had a new teacher. That's not the way it began to be. They were up there getting pepper sprayed, tased, and drug out of a meeting that they were supposed to attend. And they had time that they could talk. But they tased him and pepper sprayed him because they want to hear what they were saying. And I was like, okay, this is biblical. I was, anybody notice this? So then it seemed like, dan, 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 dan. I saw camels floating by. You know, I'm like, oh, come on. This is, this is some made me think. But it wasn't. I saw these storms hitting Dubai and camels again floating by in the desert in the Sahara. This is biblical. And I'm like, I can't get out of that. People are taking film everywhere. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody can do it live, which I swear there's another thing I wanted to say, which was the witnesses. I couldn't figure out why we were taught that the witnesses during the Armageddon era would be up there speaking, and they would kill people with flames from their mouths. But when they were killed, the whole world would be able to see them for 3 days. And I was like, yeah, that can happen now. I saw locusts tearing through, eating everything and anything, and couldn't even be driven in because you were covered. These things are biblical. I saw 6,000 earthquake swarms hitting Santorini in the Gulf coastline, thousands for days, that they actually evacuated a certain area of Santorini. Well, basically, Santorini had sent them to other islands, but they went back. Um, I've been waiting to see what else is going to blow. I've been in 2 earthquakes here in Augusta, Georgia. Who knew? And the other thing, it never even occurred to us, went through an ice storm. which we went outside to see what was going on, and trees were imploding everywhere around us. We had a forest on either side of us, in the back and on the other side, so you really couldn't see the houses. You can now because Hurricane Elena and the tornadoes that went through my backyard took all that out. I don't know how they missed everything except my hot house, but they didn't hit the neighbors' trees, did not fall on them. They fell everywhere else because if they're your trees, your insurance is liable. So we were very fortunate in that one. Didn't break any of our glass tables, didn't even move our barbecue pit, did not move it. Took down 5 trees just in our yard, in the backyard where that was set up. That glass table was huge and all that. Nope. The covers didn't even come off. On the front porch, again, we have 2 tables, a seating arrangement, a bench, and the 2 chairs. And the bench had been thrown across up into the road almost, but everything else was just fine. But the damage was so severe, and everything shut down. And I was due for surgery on my leg, which had been broke 2 weeks before, and I don't even want to tell you what hell that is to live through. And then you can't get to the VA for your surgery because the surgeons didn't get there. And the city is closed because there's no electricity. And I often wonder why they didn't put that underground as well. But uh, we were fine. My husband has a generator, but you had to drive 150 miles to find a city that didn't get destroyed by this hurricane. And we are right on the border of South Carolina. It's just 9 miles away, the border for South Carolina. So the Carolinas got hit just as bad as we did. I don't hear them say much about how bad Augusta was, because Augusta was, like I said, it was down for 2 weeks. The VA was down for 2 months. They sent me to the University of Augusta to get surgery. I went in, I had an appointment to see the surgeon. Surgeon come in, he read the file, and he looked at my leg, and he said, You've been like this for a month, and it had been a month by then. I said, yes, yeah, but everything shut down. And he said, well, I want you in here tomorrow morning at 4:30. At this point, it's like 7 at night. I mean, it's late. And I'm like, sure, of course, I'll be here. I couldn't sleep. I was scared we are going to get another thing. So I had like 15-hour surgery there on just that one. And they had a whole team, and they were great. But there's a lot to fix in there. It was a massive injury. So, and again, bedridden after, but I've got things put back together with steel. Well, it was titanium. And that's weird to you. My ankle was detached. I had broke that one leg so bad. Both of the leg bones themselves, there's only 2 in the leg, were broken in many places. So they had to line. It was a mess. So I was in surgery for a long time. They did good. I don't have too bad a surgery considering. I've got like a 4-inch scar on the one side from the ankle up, and I've got only, I think it's a 2-inch a scar rather, on the other leg to match. I mean, they did some work because this had to go all the way up to just below my knee, and so I expected much bigger scars, and it's amazing what they did. Took a long time. So that was great, and but they wouldn't. I could not move. They told me for literally after the surgery, so it's like 10 months, maybe 11 months, and I could not put any weight on that leg ever. Don't do that. And they finally pushed me into they call it a camo boot. It's a torture device. You strap this thing on every day, and you still couldn't use your leg other than to barely put any pressure on me to straighten your self out if you're going to fall or whatever. But you couldn't walk on it yet, so that was fun. And it really was a torture device because you velcroing yourself in tight, and you're still doing the exercises and all that. Because when you detach your ankle, folks, it really doesn't want to go back. Most of your bones, if they've been putting pieces here and there and everywhere, they're like, we're good. We're good. We can go. So, it takes a long time. So that one was fun. And then I found out after I'm finally okay that one of my friends, and just before it happened to me, I saw my friend, I believe in an afterlife reincarnation. if necessary. Things like this. I always have. Eric Von Daniken, may be a blessing. Um, was my guy, and Edgar Casey. Those were my go tos. And even in Nostradamus this time, when they hit the towers, I was like, he was right. The new city of the towers would be destroyed. There's no doubt he made that prediction. There's just things, like I said, that are biblical, and you just can't ignore them. And yet, when you talk to your kid, or you talk to your husband, or you talk to your grandkids, they're on the phone. Yeah. And so one of these days, I'm going to slap that phone slap clear out the hands. They know this. Trying to figure out what I'm going to put with a pumpkin pie. I bought it for Thanksgiving. And you just can't think of leaving things in your freezer, no matter how big your freezer is, for years without cooking them. So I grabbed it by the due date. So now I'm figuring, what will he eat with this? Not much. Not much. Probably anything I ask for, or say I will make for, he won't agree with. It's a band thing, apparently. I'm not real sure. So that's one of the things I love to talk about, and I'll get distracted from one thing or another while I'm up here. I did want to tell everybody Happy Valentine's Day. My shirt keeps climbing up. It's annoying the pitch out of me. I've been busy. Tomorrow being Valentine's, Happy Valentine's Day for everybody. If you're single, enjoy the hell out of it. When you get married, it's a whole new ball game. And like I said, there's not too many people that I let get away with certain things, but Valentine's is a real deal with me. So you got to be special. And this time he decided to lead up to Valentine's. So I've been getting gifts every day starting Monday of this week. And so I'm really tickled. Actually, he's done a good job. He usually does. I think he's scared because, like I said, I have bullets. he's a he's a sniper. I'm one of this. I got how many magazines? Yeah, tell it Bonnie and Clyde. Might have been them. I don't know. I do, like I said, believe in those things. I love to talk about those things. When I was growing up, like I said, it wasn't politics, but what the hell's going on? Thank God. They're saying, oh, Donald's this, Donald's that. Well, I got news for you. Donald's an asshole, but he's our asshole. Get over it. You just don't want to stop getting them millions you've been stealing for, what? How long you been here? Oh, 50 years. Where the fuck are these people in Congress at 86 years old? Anybody? I got time. Yeah, no, I don't get it either. I don't get it. I mean, you got 200 million, Pelosi. Uh, don't get me started. All this money she got. She 80 what? 86? 81? I don't fucking know. She's 80 something. Now I'm only, yeah, something. It's a state secret. But I'm not 20. And I know I'm not 20. And if I forget I'm not 20, my body will quickly remind me that I am not 20. And even though I've gotten rid of all the mirrors in the house, I still catch a reflection some bloody where and go, oh no, it's not a dream. We hippies really didn't think we would live to be this age. I never thought I'd see a grandchild, let alone a grandchild who's also an Army veteran, which he tells everybody is because of me. And then he starts telling horror stories about the winters in Korea. So I'm not sure it's a good or bad thing. We were both Army veterans. It's cute because sometimes we end up at the VA on the same day and we didn't know. And, I'll see him sitting somewhere for his doctor, or he'll see me sitting somewhere. Now, mine moves, so I'm right at the front entrance to the VA, to the smaller VA, the They call it the Uptown VA, and then there's the big one, Downtown VA, where my husband's father passed away. He was a Korean vet. So it's really eerie for me to be at that VA. But luckily, I'm at usually the smaller one, and that's where my clinic is. And I see my husband. Potential spam. His is loud spam. Too. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does to get it to turn off. Mine just swipes. But he broke his. He got a new phone, and he promptly broke that phone. So still walking around with this screen all cracked up. Don't go get a phone. I don't buy an Apple phone. I don't think Apple needs any fucking more money. Why the fuck all would you pay $2,000 for a phone? Oh, it's got 3 cameras. You only need the fucking one. I mean, what they do, they go over there and say, "Hey, look, let's put a second camera in there." They're paying $700 more for that. Idiots. I get a droid. I mean, also, there's the fact that I don't do anything really on my phone. I take some pictures. Sometimes I might take video. I generally pull out my own. I have the little camcorder, and I have several digital cameras. And generally, I'll pull those out. I still have film I'm trying to develop for my 35 millimeter, and yeah, I still have that. I still have the Nintendo, the first Nintendo I bought for my son, and it had the robot in there. It was They only did the robots for so many of them, and his has the robot, and you have to have the special game that goes with the robot. So it's a cute little thing, and we loved these damn Nintendos when we got them for our kids. We used to have Nintendo fucking parties. They bring their own TV, their own game. We used to buy the cheap book. It was like $20 back then. And once you beat it, you'd start over, or they'd have the new one out. So it was very popular, even with the adults. And my kid was good. He was really good. And like I said, we all had our own little sets, so that my grandson, nobody was playing my grandson's game. He was. So we had to go by ourselves one. And by the time we did that, they didn't have the robot anymore. So yeah, look it up. It's pretty cool. So he's got that still here with me. I don't know why I still have it. I kept the Social Security card, I think, until he's 24. And when he finds, yeah, you do. He was born in Heidelberg, Germany, so he carried dual citizenship until he was 21. And he still won't go to Germany. I laugh every time. I would love to go with his wife and go on the tour with the Amsterdam, the boat, whatever it's called. I would love to take her through Europe. My son's not going to do it. He will never do it. I think he's afraid they'll throw him in the army, but at his age, they're not really going to do that. But yeah, me and my daughter-in-law have a really good time on that cruise. We could bring my granddaughter as well, but she's so pretty. We probably would spend our whole time telling her, "No, you can't get with that guy." And you were 13 once. We all remember that. It was horrible for me. I don't know about y'all. Yeah, I hated puberty. I really did. It was like, what the hell is that? And what am I supposed to do with it? I hadn't thought about that in a long time. I see my time is up. When I get up here, I never know what I'm going to say, y'all. So I hope it was entertaining. I hope if you have anything to say, please put it in the comments. If you want to see me again, just look me up. You could also subscribe. It's free. It's easy to take off if you want to. And I would appreciate that more than I can say. I don't have a lot of viewers, and that's okay with me too. I just think this is a wonderful medium, and while it's free, we should get up here and we should talk to each other about all the bullshit that's going on. Not in anger, get a drink, and let's have a laugh. It's so if we don't laugh, this is, I think, why people actually go and start killing people with cars, even though they want to take our guns, because people kill people with guns. They don't seem to think it counts when people kill people with machetes, knives, cars. I mean, it's like the weapon of opportunity. But I won't go there either. So I want to again say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. God bless. Come see me. Let me know you're out there. Let's talk, have a drink. It doesn't matter to me what you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. And I don't, again, mean that it's a fight. Because if anybody gets in my face with a bullhorn, they're going to need directions to the hospital to make sure that they can remove it. I'm thinking of 3 or 4 ways I can handle that. Front on it or what? Shit. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta go. And I won't be out for the weekend. So God bless again. Happy Valentine's Day. And may your day be warm and bright.